Hello and welcome back to the 99, where we are focused on brewing a better competitive commander. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette.
And here I am, Ernesto Salazar.
And guess what we have?
It's time to discuss. People have been wanting this for a while, have been asking me like, hey, when are you going to do the update? When are you going to do the next update? And primer for my lady, my beautiful redhead.
She's dead, right? Because there's no Paradox engine? Is that?
What?
No, I'm just kidding. That's why. People were scared.
No.
When Pen Engine went away, they were scared. And this happened a while ago.
Yeah.
Because the first time we did the primer on the channel, I'm pretty sure Pen Engine was in the list.
Yes.
Obviously, the list has changed since then. You haven't stopped playing it.
No.
It's actually gone really... It's still fine. It doesn't feel like it's lost any power, oddly enough.
We needed to do some drastic changes to update for the P-Engine because P-Engine allowed Jhoira to basically solve the issue of mana before when you were trying to... We need to go over like some basics of Storm. Storm needs two things, which is card draw and mana. Jhoira by herself solves the card draw part. She needed the mana. So P-Engine was the solution for that. Now that P-Engine is gone, we need to go to alternate things to get that same effect of things, even for card draw or infinite mana.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, there's been a combo that's been out there for a long time, and it's haunted a lot of different game tables. Especially those modern ones. It's the KCI loop. So there have always been two trains of thought on Jhoira. I know there have been KCI builds in the past, but I know you guys want us to discuss at least Ernesto's build. So we've modified this list to incorporate KCI. But before we talk about any of the cards today, guess what, boys and girls?
We're sponsored, guys.
By TCG Player, everyone's favorite locals game store, because it's a huge marketplace of different game stores. They're not their own distributor or seller. More importantly, though, if you want to get the best prices on all your card needs, I'm overselling this. In the link in the description, if you want to help the channel, then you should buy your cards through TCG Player. So if you're going to buy them anyways, do that, and you really hook a brother up.
Well, someone needs to feed, like our beer obsession. So
yes. Think about that. Every 2 cents that you donate to TCG Player,
it's beer for us.
Helps a brew baby get his brew on. I don't know about that. I don't think you can donate money to them, but you can buy cards through them. So go ahead and do that if you were going to buy cards today off of this, like your KCI. Well, it's actually relatively cheap.
Yeah, after they banned it Modern, they went from 20 to 3 or something like that. I haven't checked the price.
If you really want to hook us up, though, buy those Hermit Druids.
Oh.
As of filming this, those Hermit Druids are like $60. Well,
thank you, buyout.
Foil promo. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Oracle. Anyway, we're going to go to the things that we are here to talk about. We're not here to talk about the new oracles that are busting the game open, but whatever. Anyway.
Theros Beyond spoilers are happening right as we're filming this. So, are you going to play Oracle in this?
No. You don't need it.
Underworld Breach? Underworld Breach. Escape. Don't you want to get away?
I am tempted, but again, as I was telling you before, the escape is something you need to feed.
I'm saying it's very Yogg's Willy, and Yawgmoth's Will is like a staple in many Storm decks. You're gonna find that in TCG Player too.
We'll see.
You're not gonna do Underworld Breach?
I might try. Okay. I'm not gonna say no to it.
However, for this primer,
let's focus on the important things. First of all, it's obviously the KCI loop. What does it entail?
There's a lot there. So KCI, it uses a lot of cards I enjoy in Teshar, except it also makes use
but you also
some spell bombs.
KCI loop
I do have the KCI loop in Teshar. I'll tell you, I never aim for it because we don't have the effect of card draw to find the utilities to make it go off. Because you do need Scrap Trawler to get the loop going, and Mer Retriever. There are Workshop Assistant, Junk Diver, there are other 3CMC creatures, but it's notable for the KCI loop to work, you do need Scrap Trawler to hit something under its 3CMC mark. So, Mer Retriever's 2. And then once you kill Mer Retriever, you also have whatever free mana rocks, or just mana rocks at that point. Because remember, KCI, if you don't know what it does, it's on the screen now. When you sacrifice an artifact, you get 2 generic mana. So the basic idea here is that you would go to pay for that effect, and while doing so, you will sacrifice. You need a few things on the field, but remember, Jhoira is getting you there with all the effective card draw and artifact recovery, all this stuff. There's great ways to just put these things on the field. Scrap Trawler, you kill that. Mer Retriever, you kill that. If you have a Chromatic Star, you win. You're gonna sack that too. You're gonna win.
You just win.
You just pretty much win the game. I mean, if Jhoira's out, you're already drawing every single time you cast one of these artifacts. Remember. But also, you would ideally want for a traditional KCI loop, a
Mox
mana
Opal.
rock. So Mox Opal.
That's the classic one.
In this case, you could use Mox Amber, Mana Crypt. It doesn't matter. But bear in mind, if you're trying to win with a Spell Bomb loop, then you will need colored mana.
You need to filter it via Chromatic Star,
Exactly.
which is that's the easiest way. But at that point, you're also generating infinite colorless mana, which the Spell Bomb, if you know the card Spell Bomb, which is like probably here or somewhere, it's either Spell Bomb or Pirate Spell Bomb, which is the only ones we can play because those are the blue and red ones.
Pirate one's the one you want,
Yeah,
though.
Pirate is the ideal one because that's the one that kills. But if you get, for some reason, you get the either Spell Bomb, you don't really care because you can pay colorless mana and just draw your deck. And then you can choose how you want to win.
Exactly. So what's lovely about this is KCI Loop, basically, when you sacrifice those things, Scrap Trawler will see Mer Retriever will see Scrap Trawler. When you sacrifice any one of those other artifacts, and there's various 1 to 0 cost artifacts in this deck, Helm of Awakening makes things 0. So basically, when you sacrifice those things, you'll also get the triggers off of Scrap Trawler. So if one of those things was 1 mana, your Chromatic Star in this instance, the 1 CMC spell is going to get the 0 cost rock, traditionally Mox Opal. So when you do that, you get 2, 4, 6, 8 mana, and lo and behold, you're making enough mana to recast all those things. So Scrap Trawler puts it in your hand, Mer Retriever puts it in your hand, all the things that Scrap Trawler sees, they just go back to your hand. So basically you just recast everything, you're drawing with her. If she's not there, you draw off of the Chromatic Star that was on the field. If it was on the field. What's beautiful about the KCI Loop in this build is that all of those historics are just going to draw you cards anyways. You're generally going to have Jhoira out. And to be honest with you, if you've ever faced a Jhoira deck or if you ever played Jhoira, you can only remove her so many times. Like, the guy's running so many mana rocks, he's going to have Jhoira out, and you're just going to have to succumb to that. And it's you being able to win faster than him.
You suffer
point.
not to know what's going on.
Exactly. It's like you can burn it and remove it enough times, but...
One of the big things you missed is that when you have a cost reducer,
yeah,
you don't need anything else.
Changes the dynamic.
You just need KCI, Mer Retriever, and the Scrap Trawler. That's it. That's it, because it generates +1 mana. Before it was...
And you'll draw your deck.
And you draw your deck.
So if you have something like Helm of Awakening, we put that on the screen now. It's been in the list before, but it's just... it's symmetrical, unfortunately, but spells you cast cost
Well, you can use
cast.
Ethereum Sculptor or whatever. Any cost reducer helps you. And it just changed the cost of Scrap Trawler and Mer Retriever from 5 total to 3. So, which is big because KCI makes it 4 mana when you sack both. So you each time you loop, you get +1. And you just use those 3 cards. You don't need any crazy like, oh, I'm gonna need like Mox Opal, stuff like that. You don't really need it. That's it, you're done.
So we're not really even going for the traditional loop, though you can. You know, it's in the list. It's just inherently in there. But with all of the effective like cost reducers in the list, you have different, more compact KCI loops that you can go with that are more effective. And at that point, if you're drawing your list that way, grab Walking Ballista and use the infinite mana to cast a giant ballista.
Or Urza.
And
cast your deck. It's the same thing.
Exactly. There's already outlets in place for that to go off. So you're storming like crazy. And obviously, you know, either Flux Reservoir is in the list. So
it's still, that's going to be a staple. It's not going to change.
Yeah.
The other one, which actually feels into what you were saying, if you have a cost reducer, be it Helm of Awakening, you might remember from when we did the first video that I hyped very much, saying that this was the best card in the game, in the whole deck. Sorry for the game. Well, technically still in the game, which is Sensei Dividing Top.
Okay.
One of the changes I did was adding Mystic Forge, which is somewhere here, or maybe in his face. I have no idea where he's gonna put it.
Throw it on my face. It's over a TCG player. I'm gonna just keep playing it.
Dirt cheap. So with
it is dirt cheap. I think
I
I have 2 copies lying around.
You could make the combination of Sensei's Top, a cost reducer, and Mystic Forge. Guess what? You draw your deck. And guess what? If you draw your deck and a cost reducer, you can have basically lots of mana because Sol Ring and Mana Bolt and
I'll read
stuff
this
like
off. You know what's funny? I think you hated on this card when it came out.
I actually did.
You'll have to go back to our set review.
I actually did.
I think I asked you if you're going to put this in Jhoira, and you're like, no, why would I use that? Why would I ever? M20 had some cool utilities. This was one of them, but again, it's on the screen now. But you may look at the top card of your library at any time. More importantly, you may cast the top card of your library if it's an artifact card or a colorless non-land card. So as he was saying, with the cost reducer, Sensei's Top is
just a throw your deck. Yeah,
the 0.
This Bola Citadel special also.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of better in this list, even if you could have black.
Mostly because this is like 30-something artifacts, so you will always be hitting at least once or twice.
Are you at 30-something now?
Yeah, 35, 36, something like that, including creatures, artifacts. Like, for example, Ethereum Sculptor, the problem with that, it's blue, so you can't cast it with this. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But, again, you can cast basically every third card, you can cast it for free.
You're generally trying to get Sensei's Dividing Top in your hand anyway, so when you draw into Mystic Forge, you're in a good place. Like,
if I get this, the ideal world for me is getting a cost reducer on top. If I get to Mystic Forge, fine, I win. Thank you. Next game. If not, you know how it is. You just drop out a rock. In response to the draw trigger, you activate top. You put on top. You draw dot back. You cast again. You do your crazy shenanigans of value.
Yeah.
That actually allows you to storm off if you can get to it, because it's kind of hard to fizzle when you're trying to do the whole draw my deck or storming off when you have top and a cost reducer. It's really hard. Because if you have excess mana, just look with top and you keep going.
Yeah, exactly. To configure the artifact on top so you can get top back, keep going. What's interesting though is I think this is a new addition to your list. I don't remember us having a lot of recovery utilities in the list, and we were using Emery for a short while. It's not on the list now, and I know we discussed it in the set review. It's still a good card, just not for this list. And why don't we talk about that really quick? Because you were using it in a distant test wall. I thought it worked really well when you were playing it. It was obnoxious just having you recur artifacts.
Lotus Spell, something like that.
That was stupid. Amazing. You're like, you hadn't getting free ramp. You just get free ramp.
I did a turn 1 Emery, turn 2 Jhoira. The game devolved from that so amazingly.
You kept such a greedy hand too. It's just like
I kept Mox Opal and Artifact Land, which another thing is an addition is the Artifact Lands because of KCI, so you can sack them for extra.
You weren't using them before, so you've got like the Forge. And
it's part of the KCI pack of everything.
You want them because it's like 1-3 mana there. Yeah, it's good range.
Pretty much. Yeah. And oh my god,
Emery is not on the list anymore.
Yeah. So I did that thing, which was every turn doing Lotus Spell, draw with Jhoira, because Jhoira, and it was nuts. It was a crazy game. But that's after playing Emery enough, I realized that was the best case scenario.
It's a very closet scenario.
Because sure, you draw. It's a 1 mana draw card, but you're milling yourself for 4, and there's not really much recursion in this deck aside from when you're doing the KCI combo. But at that point, you don't really care. You just have the KCI combo, just win. The other 2 pieces I have of recursion is Academy Ruins, which is a land, so it's super slow. And the other one is Codex Shredder.
This is new, and this is what I was kind of driving into, because if you go and draw your deck, infinite mana, for some reason, your Etherflux Reservoir gets countered, you now have Codex Shredder.
Yeah.
Right?
And also, another piece of recursion is Goblin Welder, which works for either Etherflux Reservoir, Mystic Forge if I needed to combo off with the top, KCI. The big artifacts that actually care, that you need to cheat, Goblin Welder will allow you to do. One of the things I need to note about Codex Shredder is that it allows you to do the infamous Time Twister loops. If you have infinite mana, say you don't have Jhoira, you have Isorep, you just generate infinite mana for some reason. Well, you can cast Twister. Well, sorry, wrong order. You cast Codex Shredder, then you cast Twister, then activate Shredder, putting Twister back in your hand, and then you do your shenanigans. At that point, you should be winning, because if you have infinite mana, you cast Jhoira and then do your crazy things. Time Twister allows you to never fizzle. You should never fizzle if you have so many looks at your deck with infinite mana, of course.
Even if you have infinite mana, you'll get Jhoira back out. You'll start drawing.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Was Time Twister originally in the loop? It was just not Shredder.
It was. Yeah, exactly. There was no Shredder because Shredder allows you to, even if you don't have Twister, you get KCI back, either Flux or top or whatever you need. It's just versatile. It's 5 mana though, which is a huge thing.
You get there later. I think people, I don't know if it's undervalued or what. I don't see it enough. I like Codex Shredder. I use Codex Shredder into Shard because it's valuable there. But it just eliminates top deck tutoring in a way.
Also with a Codex, with a cost reducer, it's just, I just get some pro for free in a sense. You just draw, cantrip.
Yeah. It's really solid on the list.
It's pretty good. actually. One of the combinations I forgot to mention with KCI is Psy Master Topterist. That thing allows you to basically break KCI, again, because say you don't have a cost reducer. Well, you play Psy, and when you play Psy, every time you cast an artifact, you create a 1/1 Topter artifact. Then it reads pay 1 and a colorless, 1 blue and a colorless, sacrifice 2 artifacts and draw a card. That's kind of like the value part of Psy. But the important part is that you never fizzle with KCI in that sense of you will always have the mana. Even if you don't have the cost reducer for the Mirror Retriever and Scrap Trawler, with the tokens you just suck the mana.
Because they're artifact, the Doctors are artifacts. So you're always going to have them to sacrifice after Psy being there. But yeah, no, Psy is really solid in the list. If you guys don't know him, it's also a trigger for Jhoira, by the way, because he's a legendary creature.
And also, even if you don't have the KCI combo, if you have Psy and KCI, you just get mana. Because you will be drawing cards every time you just, I don't know, drop rocks, drop Codex Shredder or whatever. You're gonna keep drawing, and with KCI, it fills you back all the mana you need.
Yeah,
so in a sense, it's
hard to fizzle with this guy. Yeah, he should be on the screen now, but whenever you cast an artifact spell, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature with flying. Relevant.
It's super relevant.
Really relevant. But more importantly, they draw after sacrificing 2 artifacts, drawing a card. It's just another outlet to have on the field. You do need infinite blue mana, or blue needs to be part of that. But in most scenarios, with Psy out, he's just good value. Because 1, he's a 1/4, so he blocks everything.
Even especially.
2, it's very easy to have things to sacrifice in this list to draw a card. You're going to make so many Thopters that you're going to be drawing off of those sacked Thopters all the time. And you can do that at any time, too. It doesn't operate at sorcery speed. So if you're holding for some sort of interaction on your opponent's turn, if nothing happens, you're just like, okay, I'm going to draw instead. Cool.
Exactly.
And set my hand up. You're never going to go the rest of the game without at least 5 to 7 cards in your hand if you're playing right. Like, you should be set.
And the best part is, even if, for example, it gets countered for some reason, it replaces itself with Jhoira, because being historic.
Yeah.
It's like a plan for this, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything's coming together.
That was a good new addition. I'm really liking him in this.
Yeah.
I think one of the last things you've added was the Shimmer Mirror that I'm seeing.
That Shimmer Mirror was the swap for Emery that I'm testing, so that's kind of an iffy card. I don't know if it's gonna stay in the deck. Maybe yes, maybe not. I'm mostly testing because I can do end of turn Shimmer Mirror and start drawing cards, so I have 15 cards in my deck when I untap.
Is there a play line that allows you to win at instant speed? Can you do like Artifact Storm into Ether Flux easily enough?
Yeah, you can drop the Mystic Forge combo.
Yeah, I guess you could.
You just win right there. And you get for some reason, if you do Ether Flux Reservoir, which most people know of it, but some don't. In case you don't know the Ether Flux Reservoir, say for example you cast Ether Flux and you have Shimmer Mirror, or a lot of instants, that doesn't really matter. The thing is, once you cast a spell, there's a trigger of Ether Flux Reservoir. If you cast spells on top of that on the stack, every time when it starts resolving the stacks themselves, the triggers themselves. Oh my god,
you're so good.
When you start resolving the triggers on the stack, it checks for every single spell before. So it's not gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's gonna be like 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8.
So if you read Ether Flux, and it should be on the screen now, but with Shimmer Mirror, the goal here being you just drop a lot of artifacts and you have them on the stack, and then you have Ether Flux, and you have that resolve. But whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. So it does register everything else that's on the stack that hasn't resolved, because it's a cast trigger. So when it sees that, he's saying if there's 7 on the stack, that's 7 triggers, or 7 life gain. So you get there a lot quicker.
49 life. It reduces the spells from something like, I think it was 19, 21, something like that, to approximately 10.
Yeah.
Which is huge difference.
And it's easier to do with Jhoira because you have so many cost reducers, so many artifacts to play out.
And you keep drawing.
Yeah. And it's really solid with the Shimmer Mirror too. I can see that being super effective.
The important part about Shimmer Mirror also is it's artifact. Yeah. So you draw cards.
You're just gonna get
doesn't matter, you just draw cards, whatever happens.
3 CMC is a little high, but the effect for you is still really good.
It's really big. It's really big. You can get infinite mana and kill someone with Ballista end of turn. Which is super cute. So it's hard because you need to do KCI loops, and at that point you kind of should be winning.
Yeah, you should have it there.
But you can just choose to kill people Ballista. It's there on the list because if you want it, it's mostly for value. You want to drop it early. You don't really need to win with this. You have so many win cons to choose from. This is just because it's a good artifact, draws you cards, and kills dorks, which most of the times like.
If you're really desperate, it's a free
Bloom
draw.
Tender.
If you're really desperate, it's a free draw. You could just drop it for 0.
Well,
Times are hard.
KCI?
Yeah.
Oops. If you don't know, well, if you need a 0 cost, well, you have a list. There you go. It's something.
That's true. And KCI makes the mana to just put a 1/1 out anyway, so you're gonna have a body.
With
Just
Sai?
sack, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, you can.
Because you can just pay 2.
There you
Get
go.
it for,
So
get a
kill-
1/1. Yeah, solid.
So, one of the other additions I had. What, a tasty one? Spicy one?
It's okay. I see this guy everywhere. I think he's better in the 99.
In this deck?
Hot take. Urza, High Lord Artificer
Yes.
is a better card in the 99 than a commander.
I will say it's not a hot take.
You don't think it's a hot take?
I don't think it's a hot take. I think he's better in the 99 than as a general.
I think he's just
Because-
okay. I think he's okay as a commander.
When we were in
So much better.
When we were in DC, I didn't feel threatened by any Ursa when I was playing them. I really didn't feel like I was under pressure.
There's one guy that got me with Urza, though. If you're watching, you know who you are. That was one game, though. Will never happen again. He just went off with every single stacks piece. It was stupid. I'm like, Tangle Wire, bouncing Tangle Wire, playing Tangle Wire again.
Oh my god.
It was just gross.
Oh,
And he, of course,
that
he
was
had
nasty.
the Winter Orb. He had all the dumb stuff, the Trini Sphere that you would expect.
Well, if he gets to assemble
he got
everything,
the critical mass.
Yeah,
it's
that's
hard to get.
It's over. It's over.
Super hard to get. Anyways,
Anyway, Ursa is here because if you want to say, oh, I want to generate mana with my either spell bomb, and you want to bounce it like instantly, pop it, whatever. If you want to generate mana by tapping KCI, you can do it.
Yeah.
If you want to generate mana by tapping your rocks, well, yeah, that's the whole point. But if you want to pay it with your stacks pieces, you can.
you know, size Thopters, you can
Size, you can actually get blue mana
and
to
get the
pay
draw.
to draw.
You know what's crazy? You tap 2 Thopters for blue, and
they
you
suck.
sacrifice 2 Thopters, and then you draw a card.
Yeah, yeah, it's super good.
Pretty stupid.
And if you get
It's pretty
if you
stupid.
get infinite mana via
Yeah.
KCI or ISO-Rev or whatever, you cast your deck
Mm-hmm.
and you just drop either flux, just win.
It's a pretty solid addition. How long have you had it in the list? Since Modern?
It's been a while. It's been a like at least since Philly, at least.
Okay.
Probably like 2 or 3 months before that. He just never showed up when we were playing our games.
No.
That's the main gripe I have with him. It's you need to get to him. Also, he's legendary, so he draws cards.
Yeah.
So
Well, why
good.
not? At
So good.
all of the legendaries. Why not? And lastly, we've got the addition of at least one stacks piece I know is new to the list. That's hyper effective in the list. And it gets you a legendary trigger.
Well, it's not
So why not?
really a new addition. I just love this card so much. She's been since War of the Spark came out because once I understood,
This used to just be a white thing.
I understood
this
she
card.
was like good when I saw her, but then I played her in Modern, and it was like, oh my god, this thing is busted.
Changes everything.
Changed my world. Like was like. So I'm talking about Narset, Barter, or Veils.
Yes.
Yes.
She's on the screen.
Yes.
He's got the weeb one, so I'm not gonna read it off.
Ooh.
But
I
you've
will
likely
kill
seen
myself
it.
then.
You know what it does.
Yeah.
If you
it's-
wanna explain it, you can.
Okay, so reasons why Narset is in this list. Number 1, opponents can draw more than one card, so it synergizes with Twister and Wheel of Fortune. Just blow up their hands, whatever. Number 2, it digs you in a mini impulse for any artifact or enchantment, say Words of Wind, say Blood Moon, say Mystic Remora, whatever. It's not if it's not a creature or land, you're Gucci. Guess what? It's a low count of creatures and lands, so you will be hitting something. Unless you are super unlucky, you will be hitting something.
And I forget you get to do it at least twice, right?
At least
Yeah.
twice. It
Okay.
enters with 5 and you do -2, so whatever. And the best part is you draw cards
It's
because it's a legendary.
Spirit of the Labyrinth.
Yes,
Why did
Well-
blue get Spirit of the Labyrinth?
because Pirate Spellbomb.
Why did blue get Spirit of the Labyrinth?
Because Pirate Spellbomb, you can kill it.
No, it's just like it's obnoxious. One of my favorite stacked pieces is Spirit of the Labyrinth because it's a sleeper card it's a 3/1 body, so it's always gonna swing.
Just spit it and it dies.
You know what? People don't kill it often enough, though,
That's
and
very true.
it
That's
helps the
absolutely
game so much to slow the pace of everyone else's list, especially if you don't have a draw engine like Timna in the command zone, or you don't have any engines assembled. It just stops the Sylvan Libraries. It stops any cantrip that's going to cause you to draw 3 cards, put 1 back, your Brainstorm or whatever it is. It just says no. This is that same effect, but in blue. So why wouldn't you want that? And at a cost of 3 mana, it's really not that rough for you, I guess.
And you draw cards and gives you cards. So it's basically a +1 cards when you cast Narset. If you do -2, obviously, unless you want to protect her because of the board.
And it's never that hard for you to cast it either, because we do, at least in this list. Well, you do use Blood Moon and you do use Magus of the Moon, but we have so much artifact-based mana that it's never an issue to have this stacks piece with those. You're going to be able to do the double blue. Right?
Yeah, that's super easy.
Like you've never been in a situation where you're like you weren't able to cast her.
Very rarely. But that was when just I needed to land a Blood Moon early because I was against 5 colors and I only found 1 island.
Yeah.
And if
I land, yeah, exactly.
I mean, if I land Blood Moon against Najila and Food Chain, I kind of win. So I had to.
That's so funny. And I'm sure you did. Yeah, it's funny how a lot of those 5 colors waver to effects like Blood Moon. Mm-hmm. You have to run them. And I'm pretty sure we discussed those in the previous...
it's one of the best cards, actually, in the meta. Because guess what? Hulk is going to make a resurgence because... You'll see it in the spoilers.
What?
The Oracle thing. We're going to go back to Oracle a few times.
Yeah,
don't worry about it too much.
Beyond Death. Wait for the set review. It's interesting. Anything new, I guess we can incorporate from Theros Beyond Death that you think is going to go in here. We're, of course, again, we're recording this. I think about 200 cards have been unveiled. But this set's going to come out later this month in January. Mm-hmm. But there's been a lot of things
that are... for New Jersey.
Yes.
Because the format is limited, I think it's teens, I think. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be for that.
Yeah, I'm going to drive by at least for 1 day to play. And then I know you guys are going to get a place down there to play.
Anyway, cards from Theros that I could add. What?
Nothing. I'm trying to think of anything.
The only one that kind of tempts me. It's the Underworld Breach is probably one. The one that it's kind of like a mini Tormod script. The one when it is one.
I like that one a lot.
See?
The lantern, the ghost light lantern.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like a guillotine, or so it looks like a sickle holding a lantern. It's the sickest thing. It ETBs, you remove something from opponent's graveyard.
Tap.
But more importantly, it's almost like Silent Gravestone, except it's asymmetrical, because when you tap it and sacrifice it, you just exile each opponent's graveyard. Yeah. So.
And if you're in a bench, you just draw cards. It just has the Aether Flux Reservoir stack over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. That and or the Underworld.
Why did I see Aether Flux? It's either Spellbomb. Oh my god. My brain is turned off. Anyway, one of the latest additions to the deck that he hates. You absolutely hate it.
Do I?
Yes. It's called Displacement Wave.
Yeah.
It reads 1 blue, and X. Return all permanents with cost X or less to their owner's hand.
X or less.
X or less. Which means it's basically a paradoxical outcome, but better. Because if they have, I don't know, say, Idol of Rhetoric, you know what? I want to win the game. So you cast that, bounce everything, you cast all your things, and you win.
Yeah.
Because you do it for 3, not 4, because it bounces. It doesn't bounce Jhoira, which is the key part.
It doesn't bounce your Mystical Forge. It doesn't bounce your KCI.
The expensive ones, it doesn't bounce it.
The rest you stay there, you play the cheap ones, you do the things you need to do.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah, because a lot of those relevant stacks pieces sort of end, at least the hate bears end at the 3 CMC mark. That's usually as high as they go, and then 2 and under. So if you have a stacks-laden field, it's annoying to get Psych Rift, so having another effect similar to that only benefits this list even more because you want to recast your artifacts.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, you don't care. It's mainly for you.
Yeah.
And then if it bounces all of Nagila's tokens,
if there's a no rod or whatever, just bounce it everything
it's just
back.
Butter. It's just
don't care.
Excellent. It's
and
sorcery.
It's 5 mana. It's not that much.
Sorcery or
instant? It's a sorcery. Wait.
Okay.
I wish it were instant. Please.
It's not another Psych Rift at least. Not in that sense.
Wow.
Yeah. Still good.
I mean, for instant, it will probably need to be triple blue. And that will be kind of hard to cast.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah, but
not
really
for this deck because 2 colors, but
it'd be kind of cool to have that with like the Shimmer out though.
Oh yeah. Well, not with Shimmer. Well,
just do it whenever. If you get to do it at instant speed.
Yeah, true.
But no, it's fantastic. It's a great addition. A lot of the bounce effects are sort of underplayed. The mass bounce effects. Obviously, Cyclonic Rift is the big one. But those are really game changers.
Like
and
reveal, if you want to bounce null rod or there are other people's rocks at the end of turn, you just, I don't know, you bounce 1-2 things for value and you slow it people's down. You can get it back with Color Shredder. You can do crazy lines with this deck, but you need to be aware of what's going on, what might happen, what might not happen. So it kind of has some requirements on the player on reading the board state, what's on what your deck can do, what you can. So you need to play this deck a lot, have experience, having a clear idea of what you can do to approach your game plan.
Yeah, don't bounce that Eidolon of Rhetoric when the dude's just sitting over there with his I don't know.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just drop your rocks each a turn and draw your cards. Generate mana, end of turn. Just Chain of Vapor that thing. Oh, you're gonna second land to bounce on Jhoira. I have all my rocks, see if I can.
Yeah, so I guess to close this one off, do you think that you've suffered since the Pen Engine ban? Has the list been as effective, more effective, less effective?
I kind of think it was more effective, but mostly because of the new additions.
Now it's more effective.
Now it's more effective.
Okay.
Because before it was kind of dumb. It was Fabricate for P Engine, Land Engine, go off.
And just do it.
Just do whatever you want. Now when I had to actually sit down, actually have to work on the list on how to make it everything come together, I feel that this is probably not the 100% what I can make, but the most closest thing I can get to it.
Yeah, it's only gonna get better.
Probably changes I will do is Twister, get it out. Yes, I said that. Get Twister out for Draftness Restoration, which is 1 blue. Put any amount of targets artifacts from your graveyard on top of your library. So guess what? You just draw. With KCI, guess what? It becomes nuts. With Codex Shredder.
Yeah.
Because you actually can loop that.
Yeah.
That's actually a strict loop.
And it's great, like when because I favorite cards like Vandal Blast, Meltdown, Bygone. Like I'm always ripping all these low-cost stacked pieces that he's drawing off of, and it gives him the benefit of getting to recast them. So, I mean, I do think that would be a good call for you, especially with the influx of artifacts you have here. You have such a massive amount of artifacts that you're always going to have some valid targets.
And it's like what, $10?
I think, yeah, and exactly mid-game, like you don't mind if your next few draws are going to be artifacts. As a matter of fact, you're kind of actually aiming for them to be artifacts.
Yes, because if you draw artifacts, you keep drawing, and you just blank the lands you're gonna draw. Because you're gonna go draw lands. It's gonna happen. You're playing 29 lands. At least this version is playing 29 lands. You will draw lands.
Yeah.
You will only have one land drop per turn. So the only way to do that is you need to blink. You need to blank those land draws.
Yeah.
And the best way is just keep drawing artifacts.
And your curve is like under 2 CMC average.
It's
right?
1.8 something.
Yeah. I usually recommend under 30 if you're going to be under 2 CMC on average, particularly if you have a commander that draws, because you're going to see the lands anyways.
And the
probably
rocks
count.
and all that stuff. Unless you're unlucky, like happening in Brew Wars.
Happens all the time, dude. Luck, biggest factor of this game. Trust me. Mull your heart out. Anya, man, I actually had to put my Anya list down just because my luck with her is so bad. Every time I play her, I get 0 land hands, and I have to mull down to 5. I have to mull so aggressively, it just cuts me out of the game. It's like, I feel so sad because I love that list too.
It's a really good list.
Yeah. I think
one of the biggest changes of the stacks pieces I removed because it doesn't synergize with the deck is Curse Totem. Curse Totem is amazing. It's a great card, but I can't run it because Sai, because Ursa, because Ballista, because Welder, because stuff. I can't really run it. So
especially with the addition of Ursa and Sai.
I hate it, but I had to cut it.
Yeah.
Curse Totem blind source.
Yeah, and you don't get Linvala either, so you don't get the joy of still shutting them off. Linvala, by the way.
Oh, dude.
Best.
Blue Linvala. Yes.
No, Blue doesn't need anything else.
Yes.
Blue, you got enough stuff. Just enjoy what you got. But that's essentially the list currently. And I forgot to mention, like, there's in the description, we're gonna leave a link so you guys can see the revised list. The name hasn't changed, so the URL hasn't changed.
No, the URL has changed. There's 2 versions. Because I'm gonna try. I'm not promising anything. I talked to some guy in DC that asked me if I was going to update and keep curing the list of just control stacks Jhoira, which is doable. It can happen because Psy is the secret to that list. That's when I was gonna make everything tick, and Ursa obviously, because Ursa and Psy is like, oh, generate
So you have to, but we'll leave a link for the one.
Yeah. But this is the
today.
important one. This is gonna be the KCI one. I just need to be some tweaks on the primer, just adding some additional information. But the rest of it, it's mostly this. You just can review this video, all our shenanigans, all our complaints about what's gonna happen or what's not gonna happen, and you have to hear everything. If you have any questions, where can they reach us?
Oh gosh, everywhere. But most importantly, you can reach us over at Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. I am the sole guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm very bad about those two. Discord, however, I'm very good about checking. Ernesto's very good about checking. Yeah, we're all, if you see us on Brew Wars and you want to talk about any of our lists, you can do so over there. It's usually the best way to find us and chat with us on lists, particularly if there's new releases like Theros Beyond Death. A lot of guys are bringing up new cards that are releasing, asking if it's right for the deck. If you see something for Jhoira and you're curious, like a common or uncommon we missed maybe, feel free to ask us about it.
Please.
Yeah, because
I might have checked it already, but if I haven't for some reason, let me know. I can give you like, oh, maybe I need to analyze or play it or not, specifically for this deck, which is the one I know the most. But again, shoot me ideas on even cards that are super rare, like I said, like those Drafnas Restoration, which came out of the left field. I did not expect that card from anywhere, which is from Legends or some expansion from bygone
eras. On the
eras.
screen now, you can see the art. You know it's older.
Yeah, it's super weird. But if you see anything like that, please ping me, because this list is always like trying to work, going up and down, see what's going on. So we can reach us there. We'll always be happy to have you there to discuss new and
chat us up on the Discord, love us over on the Twitter, like us on the Instagram.
But first buy us dinner.
But first buy us dinner, okay?
Or beer.
Or beer. More importantly, beer. But guys, my name's Patrick Marlette.
I'm Ernesto Salazar. And this has been Jhoira.
It's another Jhoira.
You want to draw cards?
Happy brewing, babies.
Happy brewing.